When I sat down to plan this video, I thought to myself, does YouTube really need another what's in my bag video for 2022? What's up everybody, it's me, Joe, back with another video. Not sure if that intro is gonna stick or not. It's kind of cheesy, but it's the first video of 2022, so I'm gonna roll with it. In this video, I'm gonna give a brief rundown of what's in my camera bag for the upcoming year, some thoughts on some new pieces of gear that I've acquired over the past year, and maybe what's coming next. So I decided to make this video for a couple reasons. First of all was to tell you, the greater YouTube world, what I'm using as a portrait and wedding photographer, running a small business out of the Maryland DMV area with my wife. And the second reason is I wanted to just document what I'm using for my own purposes, just to see in 20 years what my kit was like. So to keep things brief enough for YouTube and not feel like a forum post, I'm gonna dive right into the things that I was using last year that are exactly the same. First up is our Canon 6D Mark II. I purchased this back in 2017, 2018, when I wanted something that was good for stills and for video, and at the time this was one of the better options. This is now kind of a backup camera to our mirrorless rig, which we'll get into in a minute, but it still has a great place in our bag. We use it a lot for video, especially as a B camera, and it goes on a lot of our shoots. Next up is the Canon EOS R. This is one of our workhorse mirrorless bodies. We take this everywhere with us and really like the ease of use. For photo and for video, being able to nail the exposure in the viewfinder is really helpful. And we also like the little bit higher megapixel count for photo over the R6. The one downside, like I mentioned in my previous video last year, is that it does only have one card slot. Here's hoping that Canon comes out with an EOS R Mark II maybe this year with a second card slot. Canon, you listening? Moving on, we have our selection of lenses. All of these are actually EF lenses that we're adapting to our mirrorless cameras. We find that just the basic Canon adapter has worked really well for us, and even some of the older glass that we didn't like as much, adapted to mirrorless works really well. So with that, let's dive into our lens kit. First up is the Canon 24mm f1.4 L lens version 2. We love this for establishing shots, for tight getting ready spaces, and just as a general all-around good video lens. This is what I'm shooting with right now for this talking head portion, and 9 times out of 10, it's what I rig up on my gimbal when we're out making a video for either a wedding or client. I love the results I get from this lens. I like the wide perspective. I like putting my subjects kind of in space and establishing where they are in my photos and videos, so this lens is a great way to get that done. Then we have the Canon EF 50mm f1.8 STM lens. This is known as the Nifty 50, the EF version at least. It runs about $125 and is available all over the place. This is one of our go-to lenses for portrait sessions and wedding details and just a lot of things. We really like the perspective of 50mm, and we really like the size of this lens as well. Being that it's so small, we tend to get a little bit more natural reaction out of our clients when we're photographing them with this lens. It's just kind of unassuming and unobtrusive and not this huge hunk of glass rigged up in your face. So we like it for that purpose. Rounding out our group of primes is the Canon EF 85 f1.8 USM. This is kind of the mid-range EF 85mm lens. I used to actually really not like this lens until we started adapting it to mirrorless. I think at the time I was shooting it on like a 5D Mark III, and the focus was hunting a lot, and it just was not something I was crazy about. But on these new mirrorless cameras with better autofocus systems and eye tracking, this lens gives me great results that I actually really like. And I no longer want to sell this one. I think we'll hang on to it. Last but not least, we have the EF 16-35 f4 IS L lens. This is our only zoom at the moment. I bought this back when I was getting into video and wanted to be able to just kind of quickly frame up a shot. This is a great lens for vlogging. We typically use this when we're out and about. I don't typically need something lower than f4. When I'm doing video or vlogging, I'm typically fighting sunlight anyway, usually using this with an ND. But this lens has proven really useful. The IS works great. And if you want to hear more about it, check out last year's video where I talk about it a little bit more in depth. All right, that's it for the items that were the exact same last year. Let's move on to the new stuff for the end of 2022. So other than one big purchase that I'll get to at the end of this list of new gear, We stuck to things that were quality of life improvements or just little things that we needed throughout this year to make life easier on shoots. The first of which is our Brevite Jumper backpack. We wanted something a little bit smaller, a little bit more stylish, a little bit less camera bag looking to take out on the street and vlog with, take around to shoots and be able to pack a lot of things in it safely. The jumper proves to be a great option. It's a little smaller than I would like. I do wish it was maybe 30% larger, but for our needs, we usually pack flashes and audio in it if we're going to a wedding, or we pack our vlog rig in it when we're going out to do something fun. And it works great. It's a good bag, it's well made, and it's been a welcome addition to our kit. This next item is an absolute essential for all wedding and event photographers. This year we took the plunge and bought ourselves some speed lights for our cameras. We're actually borrowing just one last year, and we wound up buying the exact same model for ourselves as a backup, and it also picked up the Canon 600 RT2. I'll put it here, it's kind of alphabet soup. I can't remember it right now. But we picked those up so that we would have consistent flashes and reliable professional gear for our shoots that we're getting into. In the category of fun but useful purchases, we picked up the Fuji Instax Mini. This is just a fun camera for us that we take along to client shoots. Every now and then we will snap a few photos with it and hand them to our clients just to give them a little bit of a physical memento to take with them, just a surprise to leave the session with. Most of our clients appreciate it. They think it's super cool and it adds to their photo experience. All right, this next one is my favorite purchase of 2021. This is the thing I'm the most hyped about picking up this year. This is the Clever Supply Co. leather dual camera harness. I'm so excited to be one of the first people who've gotten one of these. I was part of their first run there at the end of December. This is an awesome strap. It's really high quality leather. It's handmade by Todd and the crew at Clever Supply Co. And the best thing in my opinion is it works with the Peak Design anchors, which I've been using on all of our cameras for a couple years. So this is just a no-brainer, good addition to our kit and a way to carry two cameras simultaneously. All right, last but not least, it's my favorite purchase of 2021, the Canon EOS R6. We've been super happy with it. The image quality for stills is great. 20 megapixels is a little thin for us in what we do, but we're learning to crop in camera, and we understand that people have been working professionally with 20 megapixels for a long time, so no reason to complain there. And in video mode, it's a beast. We're loving the video files that come out of it and using it for all of our video work too. The only downside I can find so far is that as a hybrid photographer and videographer, there's no way to customize the record button when you're in manual still mode, which is kind of frustrating because the EOS R does have that capability where the R6 does not. So hopefully that's something they can add in a future firmware update. I know a lot of people were surprised with the C-Log 3 and dual card slot recording update back in the summer of 2021. And they just added vehicle tracking autofocus now, so hopefully they'll surprise us with that custom video mode at some point in time. Then this camera will be fantastic. In terms of other gear, we picked up the Ronin S gimbal for video work. We have a Moment Cinebloom filter, the 10%, which is on right now, and I'm really digging, and a couple other just accessory items to help us out on shoots. And then there's the things that we'd like to pick up next year as the business grows a little bit more. We're thinking we need a good 24-70, and I would really like to upgrade our 50mm. Even though our 50mm has given us what we need right now, I would like something that has a little bit bigger front element so that my filters will work with it and gives us a little bit better image quality as well, and something that I could put a hood on. The little nifty 50 is, I think, a 49mm thread, so I don't know if there's even a hood made that small. There probably is, but... And then one other thing I'd like to add next year is another R6 or something like the EOS R Mark II. I hope this video was interesting and useful to you. I know I love watching people's videos like this around this time of year, seeing what people are choosing for lenses and setups. I'm always dreaming of ways to improve my kit and love seeing videos like this. So if you like this video, I'd appreciate if you hit the like button, drop a comment below with your camera setup and what you're using in 2022. Would love to hear from you and compare notes. And if you want to stick around and see more videos about photography, videography, dad life, vlogs, all the other things that I put on this channel, hit the subscribe button and we'll see you next time. Have a good one. Bye. And out of words. Focus. In terms of other gear that we've added, we picked up the Ronin S video gimbal thing. Come on, that was weird.